They're not disappearing because they don't care. They're hiding because they're drowning in the weight of how badly they've treated someone they genuinely love. The guilt of what they've put you through is eating them alive, and facing you means confronting the full extent of the damage they've caused to the one person who deserved it least. Their absence isn't indifference, it's shame so overwhelming they can't function in your presence. The mirror of their own cruelty. Every time they see you, they're forced to confront the living evidence of their emotional terrorism. You're walking proof of how they turned someone's love into trauma, how they weaponized your caring against you, and how they systematically destroyed something beautiful through their own fear and selfishness. Your face reminds them of every time they pushed you away when you tried to get close, every cold response to your warmth, every moment they chose their comfort over your pain. You've become a mirror reflecting back every cruel choice they made, and they can't stand to see themselves that clearly. The guilt isn't just about specific incidents. It's about the entire pattern of taking your love and turning it into suffering. They transformed your greatest strength into your greatest vulnerability, and now they have to live with the knowledge that they broke someone who trusted them completely. The destruction documentation. They remember every tear they caused, every confused look on your face when they pulled away, every time you tried to understand their behavior while they offered you nothing but mixed signals and emotional cruels. The mental catalog of your pain is torture they can't escape when you're around. They know they turned your loving heart into an anxious mess, your natural confidence into self-doubt, and your trust in love into fear of abandonment. They watched you become smaller and more uncertain with each rejection, and that knowledge follows them everywhere. The worst part is seeing how they changed you from someone who loved freely into someone who questions their worth. They created the damage they now can't bear to witness, and your presence forces them to face the destruction they're responsible for. The unforgivable actions recognition. They're hiding because they know what they did is unforgivable, and they can't handle seeing the evidence of their cruelty walking around in human form. They took someone who offered them everything and systematically destroyed their peace, their confidence, and their ability to trust their own perceptions. The guilt goes beyond hurting you. It's about who they revealed themselves to be through their treatment of you. They discovered they're capable of cruelty toward someone innocent, that they can hurt people who love them just to protect their own comfort. This self-knowledge is unbearable. They're not just guilty about their actions, they're horrified by their character. You brought out the worst in them by bringing out the most vulnerable parts of yourself, and they hate who they became in response to your trust and openness. The coward's shame spiral. Their hiding is the behavior of someone who knows they're a coward but can't admit it out loud. They ran from the best thing that ever happened to them because they were too scared to be vulnerable, too weak to grow, and too selfish to put your needs above their fears. Every day they stay away is another day of proof that they're exactly as emotionally weak as their behavior suggested. They can't face you because doing so would require them to acknowledge that they chose fear over love, safety over growth, and their ego over your heart. The shame of their cowardice is compounded by the knowledge that you deserved better. You loved a coward, and they repaid that love by proving just how cowardly they really were. Now they have to live with being the person who ran from love because they were too scared to receive it. The damage assessment terror. They're terrified to see the full extent of how they've changed you because they know they're responsible for every negative transformation. They can't handle witnessing what their emotional abuse did to someone who started out whole and trusting. They're afraid to discover that they broke something in you that can't be fixed, that their treatment created permanent damage to your ability to love or trust. The thought that they might have destroyed your natural openness and warmth is unbearable guilt they can't process. Their hiding protects them from having to face whether you're still the same person who loved them so completely, or if they've fundamentally altered who you are through their cruelty. The possibility that they've permanently damaged someone innocent is too much to confront. The apology impossibility complex. They know that no apology could ever be adequate for what they've put you through, so they avoid the impossible task of trying to make amends. How do you apologize for systematically destroying someone's peace of mind? How do you say sorry for turning their greatest strength into their greatest wound? The words don't exist to express the depth of their regret, and they can't handle the inadequacy of anything they could say. They'd rather hide in shame than offer you an apology that insults the magnitude of the damage they've caused. They're also terrified that seeing you again would reveal they haven't changed at all, that they just hurt you again through their continued emotional unavailability. They can't handle the possibility of proving they're still the same person who hurt you so deeply. The selfish protection mechanism. Their hiding is the ultimate selfish act disguised as protection. They can't handle the guilt of facing you, so they're prioritizing their own comfort over giving you the closure or answers you deserve. They're protecting themselves from uncomfortable feelings while leaving you to deal with the aftermath alone. They know you deserve an explanation, an apology, or at minimum an acknowledgement of what they put you through. But their emotional cowardice prevents them from doing right by you even now. They're still choosing their comfort over your needs. The self-punishment paradox. They think their guilt and hiding constitute appropriate punishment for their behavior, but they're actually just continuing to hurt you through their absence. Their self-imposed isolation doesn't undo the damage, it just adds abandonment to the list of ways they've hurt you. The guilt they're drowning in serves no purpose except to make them feel like they're suffering appropriately for their actions. But their suffering doesn't heal you, help you, or honor the love you gave them. It's just more selfishness disguised as remorse. They're hiding because looking at you means looking at themselves, and they hate what they see reflected back. Their guilt is real, but their continued absence proves they're still choosing their comfort over your healing.